What's going on, Falcon fans? This is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. So today we're going to talk about the Falcons lost against the Los Angeles Chargers yesterday. A game definitely the Falcons could have won, probably should have won, but we're going to talk about some reasons why. They just not yet able to get over the hump and winning types of games like that. Past week we were. This week we just could not pull it off, and we'll talk about some of those reasons why. We'll get into the injury report right quick on this short week, and then get you guys thoughts about how y'all see these guys moving in the next 3 weeks or so. Definitely games, winnable games, just like we probably thought the Chargers games winnable, but that's why it's any given Sunday. Any NFL team can beat you no matter what their records are. So you can't not, just take a team for granted because you think you know their situation and what the team is going to be like, right? So, guys, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys like hear what I talk about. And please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So, like I said, we're going to get into the injury report right quick. Then we're going to talk about the Falcon miscues yesterday, things that they definitely could have probably fixed. Um, moving forward, rise up from Mississippi. What's going on, Christy? Yeah, we're going to talk about. So, real quick, we're going to get into the injury report, right? So, on this short week, it's no surprises. AJ Terrell was a non-participant in practice. More than likely, he probably is not going to play this Thursday on a short week. But that will give him approximately 2.5 weeks to come back from that hamstring injury. Hopefully, he'll be ready for the next game. Felipe Franks, our resident um, guy who loves to play, and we don't know why he's out there. Our tight end, Felipe Franks, calf string, did not practice today. Matt Hennessy, who was already filling in for Elijah Wilkinson, our offensive line playing at left guard position, went down as well. He would probably not play this weekend as either. So that now we're at our third string left guard is probably going to be Kobe Gazik, a guy that already played this year, week 3 against the Seattle Seahawks, who actually played pretty well. So hopefully he can continue to do that. It's going up against a pretty tough defensive front from the Carolina Panthers. So hopefully he's able to hold up on that, Kobe Gazik. But that's the next man up mentality once again. And then Eric Harris, another guy, a foot injury, did not play this weekend. Was not out there today as well. So on a short week, there were 4 guys right now is on our injury report. We have to look and see if they practice tomorrow. We'll just have to see what happens. But with those 4 guys, we're going in once again. Defensive backfield is going to be a lot of backups back there, just like this week. We're going to talk about that, some of the issues we got in the defensive backfield. Hopefully, Fenton, the guy we actually traded for, actually be able to get on the field this week, be able to help us out. But we're never going to know. Right now, we got backups out there, and it's really not helping us that much with those backups back there. I want to say that this is a team that got some depth, but when you have both of your starting corners out, it's going to cause issues. And like I said, we'll talk about that in just a minute when we get to the defensive side of the ball from this game and some of the miscues and execution stuff that they did. They were just not able to make happen right in this game. Christy says, what did they say Hennessy injury was? They did not say what it was. I probably go back and look, but he's not going to practice on this short week. I don't think it's long term, but definitely not going to be out there. And hopefully, like I said, having this short week, then pretty much an extended weekend, get into the next week. Hopefully, some of these guys can get healthy back. Again, Elijah Wilkinson is going to be out at least another 3 weeks, right? So it's going to either be Hennessy or Kobe Goss is going to have to fill that left guard position. We still was able to run the ball for 201 yards yesterday. So right now, that's not hurting us as bad as you would think from the left guard position. Also, just going to throw it out there. Don't forget, Jalen Mayfield definitely is eligible to come off the injury reserve. So that's another guy they could actually bring back. Arthur Smith mentioned today that some of those guys might be able to come back next week, not this short week, but next week. Some of those guys definitely could come back. Some of those guys that due to be back off injury reserves, guys like a Damian Williams, a like I said, Jalen Mayfield, John Fitzpatrick, another tight end, a rookie tight end that we have not seen this year. So some of those guys definitely can come off the injury reserve. We'll have to see who's going to be available next week. Of course, you bring guys off the injury reserve. You have to make roster adjustments to get to the 53-man roster. So if somebody's coming back, somebody's going to have to get taken off. So just be on the lookout on the roster maneuvering that the Falcons will have to do if they decide to actually bring guys off the injury reserve next week. But for this week, more than likely it's going to be the guys we rolled out there with on yesterday's game. Probably except Matt Hennessy. Like I said, Felipe Franks is another guy that won't be out there. So that's our injury report for this week, the short week going in. I don't think it's too big of an issue, for the guys not going to be out. We've been out AJ for like 2 weeks. We've seen the outcome of that. We just got to deal with it again on this short week going against a familiar opponent, DJ Moore, who pretty much lit us up in the last game we had. So hopefully we can make some adjustments and have a better outcome against that receiving corps from the Carolina Panthers this Thursday. All right. Let's get into the defense miscues. Like I said, guys, this game in the whole, if we just want to put this game in the whole nutshell, the Falcons just had too many mistakes and key moments in all three phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. So we're going to talk about that. But the defensive miscues that really hurt the Falcons in this game, and the biggest one, and I'm just going to say it. I know Dean P's been talking about this all year, so you can't say that he's not coaching for these guys to give up third downs. But we were 50% in the Chargers with 50% on third down conversions yesterday, right? And this is the biggest issue the Falcons have is our pass defense, and it's really starting to becoming a real issue for us. And I think if we're not able to make it to where we want to go, this is one of the reasons why. I mean, if you look at it, the Chargers was 8 for 16 on third down yesterday. Like I said, that's 50%. But these are the down and distances that they had on third down. They had a 3rd and 15 completion on third down, a 3rd and 6, a 3rd and 9, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 5, right? You can understand those 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1s. You can understand those. It's really hard to stop guys on those third and shorts and things like that. That means we have to play better on 1st and 2nd down. But when you got 3rd and 15, 3rd and 9s, those are the down and distance where we're really hurting ourselves. We got to be able to get off the field on that. And it's to the point where it's loud. It's not the stadium being quiet and pumping these guys up, because believe me when I tell you this, on those third and 15, 3rd and 9s, they was also 1 and 1 on 4th down yesterday. It was loud in there. It was really loud in there, and I'm just be honest with you. When you see your team consistently giving up 3rd and long, right, and they can't get off the field, those are the kind of issues that start to if you do it consistently, that's why you start to lose games, right? We was not able to get off the field on 3rd downs, and most of these plays were passing downs, which means, of course, we got 2 cornerbacks out. No excuses on that. We got 2 of our starting corners out, but the pass rush as well. We always talk about the defensive backfield, right? But if we're not able to get to the quarterback and put pressure on him and get him off his spot, um, that's another reason why they're completing. The defensive backfield already can hold guys for so long, but if you're not getting pressure and the quarterback is sitting back there being comfortable, um, that's another reason why. So, of course, the defensive line, those outside linebackers, those blitzes, all the pressures, everything that DMPs were calling, who was not able to get home yesterday, and it caused us the game, in my opinion. That's on the defensive side. So, like I said, we're going to talk about all three phases, but we're just going to talk about defense right now. Third down percentage in that game yesterday was bad. I mean, it was one time the Chargers was 1st and 25. Usually, when you got a 1st and 25, the offense does not convert. On that drive, the offense does not convert on that drive, but somehow the Chargers were able to, because on first down, the offense actually gave up like 12 yards on first down to get them back into a manageable second down. Those are the kind of things we cannot let happen, right? So what I'm telling you is the issues right now for the Atlanta Falcons, especially on the defensive side, and like I said, in my keys to victory, one of the things for the Falcons was our pass defense. We got the worst pass defense in the league. There's no secret about that statistically, and we was proud about having the being no break defense, right? We give up the yards, but we was able not to let them put points on the board. Yesterday it backfired on us because we could just not get our offense back the ball on crucial downs, like a 3rd and 15, like a 3rd and 9, like that fourth down conversion that they got. It was a 4th and 4 that they was able to actually convert, right? So those are kind of things that, from the defensive standpoint, we just got to be able to do better. We just got to be able to do better. So, sorry about that. Sorry about that. So, Christy says here, let's see here. I came to one home game and I agree. We get loud. I'm hoping to carry everything around a third. Yes, I mean, we definitely. I'm telling you, it's different this year, guys. And I'm not just making it up, because, but it's a different atmosphere in there. The fans want this team to do well. They see the change in this team and the things that this team potential that it has. But like I said, it's so demoralizing, guys, when it's 3rd and 15, and go look at the percentages around the league. How many teams actually convert a 3rd and 15? But it seemed like against the Atlanta Falcons, it seems to happen too often for us, and it's really hurting us on defense. So, like I said, 8 for 16 on third down. Defensively, we were just not good enough yesterday, and that's one of the reasons why we lost. It wasn't the only reason, but from a defensive standpoint, if we just hold those guys to maybe 6 for 16, right? Maybe this game is totally different. I mean, just at least the 3rd and 6, third 6, 3rd and 15, the 3rd and 9s. If we can just stop on those three on down in distance, because those are not advantageous down for offense to convert. And for some reason, we was not able to actually make that happen yesterday. So our third down defense has to be better. Has to. Right now, I don't know if it's gonna get better, because like I said, right now we have who we have on our team. It might have to take till we get to the off season. Hopefully some of these guys can grow, in the rest of the next half of the season, to get better, to be able to put more pressure on the quarterback, the more snaps some of the defensive back get. Cornell Armstrong, I mean, I love the guy. He's out there trying his best, but he just is not good enough to stick with these guys. He's there, but not there enough to break up the ball, be able to stop a conversion from happening. It's just not good enough. And but that's who we got. We got to roll with him. Like I said, hopefully the guy we traded for at the trade deadline, Fenton, get in there to help us out. But at this point right now, that's where we're at, and we just have to go with our defensive backfield. But guys, that's the biggest issue from a defense, right? Not gonna even talk about what happened with Taquan Graham. Can't explain that. What happened? Um, that's another reason. It wasn't the only reason, but if Taquan Graham holds on to that ball, put us back in the position to actually win the game, right? Despite all the other things I just talked about. So it's another miscue that we had, right? Just couldn't hold on to the ball. Phantom. So just maybe it was the football guys, right? We talked about it last week. The football guys finally was on our side. Have a field goal kicker missed 2 field goals. I guess they like, well, fair play, right? We're gonna get you back. We're gonna somebody just gonna knock the ball out of Taquan Graham's hand, and that's what happened. He was not able to hold on to that ball. Don't understand what happened with that, but just was not the case, and that's what happened with Taquan Graham. So, like I said, but from a defensive standpoint, that's our issue, guys. Third down defense. They were 50% from third down, and that's the reason why we was not able to. Not the only reason why, but that was another reason why we lost the game yesterday against the Los Angeles Chargers. All right, let's get into the offensive side of the ball. And first of all, from an offensive standpoint, I'm just going to go ahead and say running the ball is not an issue, right? No matter what offensive alignment we have in there. We talked about Matt Hennessy coming in, filling in for Elijah Wilkinson, and then Colby Gossett coming in, finishing the game. We was running the ball was not an issue for us. We had over 200 yards rushing again, which is, and we talked about this on Wednesday when I did the keys, that the Chargers had one of the worst rush defense in the league. And, people say, okay, why would you just think keep running it? But we're going to talk about some of the miscues we had on offense, and the running was not the issue. The passing was not the issue. It was the execution, right? So I wrote down a couple of things. First of all, we was 5 for 11 on third down, which is almost 50%. I guess you could say that was pretty much even 50%. They actually had more. They had 7 more snaps than we had in that game, and they had 7 more snaps, but we hold the ball longer. We had the time possession for 31-49. They had it for 28-18. So we won the time possession in that game. It was only 4 punts a piece from each team. Like I said, it was a pretty much evenly matched game going across the board. But from an offensive standpoint, and I'm just gonna go off some key things that happened from offense where it really hurt us in this game, right? Of course, we know about the catch by Drake London in the red zone, and he let Khalil Mack take the ball out of his hand, right? That was a big play in the game. We probably come away with points on that, 6 or 3 on that. Either way you look at it, that ball probably was at the 2-yard line when he got it ripped out of his hand. Of course, Arthur Smith was arguing forward progress, but Drake London just got a hold on that ball. He was trying to fight, to get yardage on that, so he didn't give himself up. So I can see it go both ways. Forward progress, stop the play, but either way, Khalil Mack made a great play, took the ball out of Drake London. That was a big play in the game, right? We gotta be able not to do that, right? Let's go to going into the half, right? Going into half. We know the Chargers are getting the ball back. There's 32 seconds left on the clock. And Arthur Smith dialed up a play to Kyle Pitts deep. And it was a miss. It was a miss between, I don't know if it was a route run wrong, but all I know, it went over Kyle Pitts' head, right? He didn't run the angle right. Marcus Mario threw the ball over his head. One of the miscues. 32 seconds left in the game. Put us in field goal position right there. We would have been able to score. And I talked about how I thought Arthur Smith was so good in situational football, going in and putting points up before the half. He's been doing a great job all year. Similar to what he did in the Cincinnati game, where he doubled up on points. The deep ball to Demir Bird and the run back by Avery Williams, put up 10 points just like that, right? Situational football, we had a chance to do it yesterday. 32 seconds left in this half. A deep ball to Kyle Pitts and overthrown ball. For some reason, our deep pass have not been on point this year. Only to Demir Bird probably once. I've seen a deep pass maybe to Kyle Pitts on the sideline in Seattle, a deep pass to Drake London one time, but for the most part, we have not connected on our deep passes, guys. I mean, it's just not there. If they need to do anything, that's one of the things they need to do. They need to actually go out and work on that every day after practice. Somehow get their timing down. Understand when a guy that open like Kyle Pitts was yesterday several times, we have to be able to connect on those. 12:23 in the fourth quarter, another deep pass to Kyle Pitts, and this time Kyle Pitts just dropped the ball. Execution, guys. Kyle Pitts just dropped the ball, and that's simply what happened in that play. Can't happen. Can't happen. We get off. We have to punt the ball in that possession. And then 4:47 left in the game, and I know everybody remember this one. On 4:47, another deep pass to Kyle Pitts, and overthrown. So the question is, getting Kyle Pitts the ball. That's one of the things that we wanted to see. But if you're not going to be able to connect on those plays, that's the biggest issues that we had yesterday on the offensive side. Just miscues. The Drake London fumble, right? The three deep passes to Kyle Pitts. One drop by him, two overthrows. He ran the route wrong. I don't know what the connection is. They just need to figure it out. You can't be able to be that wide open and can't connect. I mean, passes like that, you don't even have to be as accurate because he was so wide open. You just got to be able to give him a chance to catch the ball. Those things did not happen yesterday. So from an offensive standpoint, just talked about all the miscues that we had on defense, right? Talked about the 50% the Chargers had on third down. But if we connect on these plays I just mentioned, if we not turn the ball over in the red zone by Drake London, connect on at least one of those deep balls by Kyle Pitts, we talking about a whole different game, right? Those are the issues that we had on the offensive side of the ball. Like I said, no issues with the running game. We did stall out a couple times. That happens in an NFL game. Like I said, we only had 4 punts in this game, but those are the biggest keys, biggest things that really hurt us on the offensive standpoints. Like I said, the deep ball to Kyle Pitts with 4:47 left in the fourth quarter. Situation, guys. We got to be able to connect on that. 12:23 on the fourth quarter. A drop pass by Kyle Pitts. Sure-handed guy dropping balls. And then going into the half, 32 seconds left, another deep pass to Kyle Pitts, overthrown. Those are kind of things we cannot let happen from an offensive standpoint. And that's what it really boils down to. All right, those are offense. Like I said, ran the ball good. Offense looked dominant in the run game. Passing game still a work in progress, especially on the deep balls. We got to be able to do that. Marcus Mariota made some great plays yesterday, getting out of trouble. Off schedule plays. The play he made to Tyler Algier was awesome. Things like that. You got to be able to like those kind of plays, those off schedule throws and things like that. Staying and keeping the ball, keeping it alive to actually make a play. But we got to be able to connect on those, right? Those are some of the things that we got to be able to connect on from an offensive standpoint. All right, let's go to special teams. And it's really just one thing on special teams that really hurt us yesterday, right? And this was major. This is probably one of the major things. We had a 9-play drive. 9-play drive on offense. And Koo missed a 50-yard field goal. 9-play drive. That's a lot of time coming off the clock, right? You're limiting your possessions. You limit their possessions. But we don't come away with no points, right? It's a 3-point game, guys. We lost by 3. And maybe if we kick that field goal, we put the pressure back on them. We're up 3, right? And now those guys might make a mistake because they're pressuring. But knowing the game tied, it changes everything. Bad by us, right? No execution. Q usually, sure-footed, makes those kind of kicks. But yesterday he was wide right. I mean, it just what happened yesterday. 9 plays, no points on a drive. That's a killer. That's a demoralizing from your defensive standpoint. Defense thinking they getting the rest they need, right? But no points. Keep the Chargers alive, right? You had those guys railing. You out there for 9 plays. Their defense is tired, guys. But we got to be able to come away with points or you keep the ball for that many plays. 9 plays, 50 yard field goal missed by Koo. We cannot let things like that happen. That's another reason why. So, like I said, that's why I say all 3 phases, guys. From a defensive standpoint, right? We look at the defensive side of the ball. We talk about those third down conversions. We talk about that. If we can just, like I said, stop 3 of those third down conversions, maybe this game is different, right? Offensive side, we can just hit some of those big plays. Drake London can hold on the ball and in the red zone, right? We can just get that point, those points going into the halftime. This game could be different. And then here on special teams, talking about Young Wei Koo making that field goal, that 50-yard field goal. We can just hit that in after keeping their defense on the field for over 9 plays, guys. That's what I'm talking about from complimentary football, all 3 phases, 2-minute miscues we had in this game. That's why we lost this game. But we can say this, that everything is not lost, right? We still right in the thick of things. We have the lead. I mean, we tied for the lead in the division still with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If the Saints win tonight, Monday Night Football, we'll be tied with them. However, both of those guys got the tie break on the Atlanta Falcons right now, which means we still own our own destiny, because all we got to do, if we tied at the end, we beat both of those teams, we still the division winner, right? So everything is still in front of us for this team. Tough loss, really upsetting. We could have still had, sole position of first place going into this Thursday night football game. But now this Thursday night football game is just that much important, right? It's a division game. We need to be able to pull this game off. Hopefully we can do that and, get back at 500 again. Just not able to get over 500 for some reason. I don't think it's some kind of curse or anything like that. But at this point right now, we're just not able to put enough games together and make enough plays and crucial points of the game like yesterday, where if we could have just did that, I think it would have worked out for us well. So those are some of the things and the miscues that we had yesterday from the game. That's the reason we lost. Um, you can blame it on Taquan Graham. Yes, you can blame it on that. But if Marcus Mariota hit Kyle Pitts deep on one of those balls, the game is not even where Taquan Graham had the ball drop out his hand. If Young Wei Koo kick a field goal, only thing the Chargers wouldn't be able to do is tie the game up instead of winning the game, right? If Drake London don't get the ball took away from him at the 2-yard line in the red zone, we have points right there. So it's so many different things that you can contribute to this loss. So you can't just put it on one play. Yes, that was the last play that the Atlanta Falcons had a chance. And if you put that all the other things I talked about, but some of these things that I talked about, guys, it got to get fixed, right? The third down conversions for our defense, we have to fix that if we want to try to do anything the rest of this season. We got to be able to start connecting on our deep balls. We have to be able to do that, and then we got to try not to turn over the ball, right? We got to be able not to try to have the ball turned over on us. Those are some of the big things that's really hurting us. We had 2 turnovers yesterday, of course, of Drake London, and then the phantom drop by Taquan Graham, right? All right, then the last thing I'm gonna talk about today, guys, is just overall the truth about the Atlanta Falcons, and it's about the talent we have on this team and the execution, right? So we're gonna talk about that. Hold on just a minute. All right, all right. So we're talking about the talent and the execution of this team. So this is this is just reality of it, right? We have a young Atlanta Falcons team. It's really young, right? We have a lot of rookies out there playing, and um, right now, if you look in our backfield, our defensive backfield, right? Um, it's a lot of young guys out there. Darren Hall, second year guy coming in, filling in for Casey Hayward or AJ Terrell, whoever you say he filling in for. But it's a young guy. I thought he played well yesterday. Gave up some plays, right? Cornell Armstrong, third game, of his career coming in, just getting baptized, guys. So the talent in our defensive backfield is young talent. Like I said, that's the depth that you want to create. Good experience for these guys to get, but at the end of the day, the talent is what it is, right? This team is not as talented as some teams, right? We assumed because Keenan Allen and Mike Williams um, was not playing in that game, it was going to be easier for us. But in reality, um, their backup receivers was just as good for those guys yesterday. They made way more plays than our defensive backs did, and they executed. And that's the next thing I want to talk to execution in this game. Execution is so important, right? We talk about coaches all the time. I think this is a good coaching staff. Um, I feel like they put these guys in the best positions to make plays. Um, Sometimes the plays is just not being executed like they need to be, right? We have so many young talented guys on this team. Kyle Pitts is talented, but shouldn't be dropping passes, right? Um, Drake London is too smart and made so many good plays this season to not, understand that down in the red zone, turnovers is a no, right? Young Way Cool, guys, one of the guys that we re-signed this year. Usually automatic, not gonna be perfect, understand that, but that's a big kick for us. So the talent is there, but where we're failing it, guys, is the execution, right? And that's what we're seeing right now. We're just not executing things that we need to execute, from this team, especially in big points of the game. Like the reason why it's so crucial because 3rd and 15, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 6, plays like that we're not executing like we should, and that's that's what's happening. And I think it started getting these guys' head like 3rd and long for some reason. They just can't get off the field. You have to execute. I feel like the plays are being called for these guys to go out and execute. They're just not executing right. Um, and that's what it boils down to, right? We have a young, talented team that's still learning. A lot of people didn't think the Falcons were going to be in the hunt right about now, but going into week 9, Atlanta Falcons are right there. Like I said, tied for the division lead. All they got to do is just keep doing their things right. Um, the next three games is definitely winnable games for the Atlanta Falcons, but they can also lose them because what I just talking about. Um, lack of talent in some places, right? We have some starters that's out, and then execution. Dean Pease, Arthur Smith talks about putting the guys in the best position to be able to execute and make plays, and I feel like the game plan that they put forth so far is it's there to be made. The guys just go out and execute and make the plays. And I think if you ask any player um, in that locker room, that they'll tell you they just got to start to execute the plays, right? You're not going to be 100%. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. That happens, in life. Nobody's perfect, right? That happens. But, you know, you have to execute more correct way um, than not execute, you know, because if that's how you win and lose games, right? Yesterday, the Atlanta Falcons lost because of lack of execution. That's simply as that. Um, like I said, you execute some of those long, deep passes. You execute big down, third downs, and block. One of 11, the things that they're talking about, that they're preaching. You just do your job. You one of the 11 guys to do it. Those are the kind of things they got to do. And right now, that's not what's happening. In some of the biggest moments of the game, right? Just go through the game, and our guys, people like to pick out one or two plays in the game, but if you just go through the whole entire game and pick out, you know, I probably named about 5 or 6 or 7 things that happened in this game, right? But if we just cut that 7 or 6 down to 3, the Atlanta Falcons probably win the game, right? So you're not going to be perfect on every play. It's not going to happen like that. But too many plays not being executed the way that they should be, and it's young, talented guys still trying to get experience. That's not any excuses, but I mean they're just a fact, right? Atlanta Falcons, I think, is still a year away for really starting to make some noise because if we can get this defense being like it should be, right? The offense is, I think, is trending in the right direction. It's trending in the right direction, right? Being able to dominate, ball on the ground with that three-headed monster we got right now with Kayla Huntley. Good to see CP back running people over, getting in the end zone. Tyler Algier had his career day yesterday, the way he was running that rock, right? Things like that, you can see trending in the right direction. But we just got to make it complementary, right? We got to be able to, put that passing game into our offense, right? We got to be able to get to the passer, in our pass rush and help those DBs out in the back on the back end for those guys. The lack of, of experience they got in that backfield is hurting them. So we have to be able to work tandem that pass rush on the defense. Our passing defense is failing us right now. It's no other way around it. DP's put him in man, put him in zone. He trying everything. He sending pressures, right? It's nothing's working right now, and these guys are not executing like they're supposed to. So we just got to see, and I think about it like this, right? Dan Quinn was here. 2015 came in, got let go, early 2020, correct? And he had the Legion of Boom in Seattle. That's why he got the job for the Atlanta Falcons, right? He was here, defensive guru, come in, and he could never get the Atlanta Falcons to where they need to be, right? He picked the players, right? Let's not understand this. He had to find a set of the players, him and Tommy Dimitrov. Pick the players that come in, but he was never able to get, the guys to perform like they should be able to perform. I think he only had a top 10 defense one time he was here. I think that was in 2017, right? Any other year, they was not that good. To just be honest, right? Now, look at his defense in Dallas, right? Everybody's talking about he's a defensive mastermind. And the question I got, if he's such a defensive mastermind, why was he not able to do it in Atlanta? Because it's the talent, right? He picked the players, right? That's what happened. He picked the players in Atlanta. He did not pick the players in Dallas, right? This regime in Atlanta Falcons has turned over Dan Quinn's roster. It's going to take time. So what I'm telling you guys is that once they get their guys in, right? Get their guys in and start to put them in their scheme and start to get them to work. We're starting to see it little by little. So I think it's only like 4 guys left, but you have young guys in, like I said, Darren Hall, Cornell Armstrong. That's just the nature of the beast, right? We're gonna fail in some of the instances where we've been failing it right now. So it's at the end of the day, it's all about the coaching. It is coaching. You have to have good coaching, but you have to have the talent as well. And that's why I want to talk about this. I mean, I just want to throw it out, guys. So don't get discouraged about this team. These guys out here fighting hard. I have nothing, but respect for Cornell Armstrong. He's playing his heart out. He's not going out there making mistakes on purpose. Can't stop anybody. He's playing as hard as he can play. But it's a reason why he was undrafted and things like that. That's just the nature of the beast. The coaching staff trying to put him in position to be successful, right? Darren Hall, there's a reason he was a fourth, fifth round pick. I can't remember. I think he was a fifth round pick. But right, we got to just see these guys, get more and more reps, get more and more experience, and hopefully they get improved throughout the year. Hopefully we get one of our starters back, AJ Terrell. He comes back, he'll be able to help us, in our defensive backfield, right? But it's a work in progress. We got to probably get some little bit more talent, right? So we can start executing the plays that they want to execute, right? But this really the first full season for this regime last year. Like I said, they had a lot of you know, guys that were still on the old regime with a bad salary cap, trying to, just be competitive, his first year, um, trying to put a system in. So in reality, I think this is the first year you can look at this regime, this coaching staff, and see where they're trying to put their stamp on this team and figure out what they're gonna do. This is a good year because you can definitely see what you got, what you need. If I'm looking at these guys, I'm definitely looking for a pass rush. I'm looking for more consistency in the defensive backfield. That's me. All right, I'm looking for another stout guy to go probably besides Grady Jarrett and Taquan Graham. Um, Looking for another. We need to be able to unlock the pass rush. Until we be able to do that, we always gonna have issues in the passing game on defensive side of the ball because if we can't get the quarterback off their spot and they have all day to throw, we had no sacks yesterday, so that's one of the things I just wanted to throw out. Chrissy says, "Will the ability to execute come more with experience playing together because the team will continue to evolve?" That's the hope. That's the hope. This is right here is the hope. What you were just saying. More experience playing with each other. Everybody understanding what everybody needs to do. That's the hope. But at the end of the day, sometimes you just got to get another player, right? I mean, Dean Pease is a good defensive coordinator, but Dean Pease had Ray Lewis, right? He had Suggs. He had he had you know one of the best safeties to ever play in the game, right? He had Ed Reed. He had these guys, right? Talent. At the end of the day, and they was able to execute the plays that he wanted them to play. We have some of those guys too. Right? I mean, Grady Jarrett is an outstanding football player. AJ Terrell, upcoming star, right? Taquan Graham, I think is really starting to come to his own. Besides, dropping the ball, right, running down the field. Armor Ebiketie is a rookie. I think he's always around the ball. I think he's just going to get better. He might be that guy for us. Still young. D'Angelo Malone made some great plays yesterday as well. The reps he got. Troy Anderson still learning the game. Still young. Still learning the game. Made a good play yesterday. I think it was on third down, a batted pass to force the punt. So you can see the flashes from these young guys starting, to show some of the things that they're gonna be able to do with that experience that Chrissy was talking about. But at the end of the day, right, this team is just not there quite yet. We have to realize that, and hopefully, throughout the season they get better, get some guys healthy to come back, and they start to execute some of these plays better. But right now, looking at this team, like I said, we still are tied for first, right? This is a big game for us on Thursday night. We come out and we do the things we need to do, right? We'll still be tied first, no matter what happens, next week for the Bucks or the Saints. We still be tied because we playing first this week. So we win. No matter what any of those guys do next week. Right? We can't worry about them anyway. We just got to go out and handle our business. We talked about that. Falcons still control their destiny because they still got a game against the Saints and the Bucks. So they can split the season series though, guys. and have a better record, they still win the division. So no matter what the Saints and Bucks do, looking forward, the Falcons need to go out and do what they need to do. Right, 3 winnable games coming up before our bye. Definitely, but it's any given Sunday, so we can't take any team for granted. Chicago's been playing great. They looked good yesterday against the Dolphins, even though they came up short. Um, Commanders, tough team. Ron Rivera, we got some familiarity with him, how he plays. Play his defense is always be tough. Um, Taylor Heineke throwing up pop-up balls and um, somehow they get caught. Right, we seen that happen last year in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Right, so those 3 tough games we got: this Panther team, the Bears, and the Commanders we got coming up. 3 winnable games for us, but we need to take one game at a time. See what we need to do with the Panthers. Right, another hard fought game is going to be this Thursday night. I will be there actually. I'm excited about that. Never been to that stadium before, so I will be there. Watch that game. Hopefully, the Falcons can get the bad taste out their mouth. I know they're happy. They probably play, right away 4 games to go get right back on the field. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Panthers too, after giving up so many yards and touchdowns to Joe Mixon um, this past weekend and yesterday's game. So I'm pretty sure they're ready to get back out on the field as well. So those are some of the things we definitely got to look forward to in this game. Another good division matchup. 2 teams that know each other very well. Hopefully, we cannot let PJ Walker look like freaking Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson again on Thursday. So, guys, that's all I got. I will definitely be back again on Wednesday. Talk about the keys to victory for the game against the Carolina Panthers. Pretty similar to the game we just had about 14 days ago. Um, you know, based off Thursday, about 14 days from that point. But we'll just look at it, right? Some of the things that we seen in the game that hurt us. We can't let Foreman get that many yards like he did in that game. He had 118 yards, 3 touchdowns. Definitely can't let that happen. We can't let PJ Walker and DJ Moore torture us like they did. And then we have to fix some of the things I talked about. The third down passing defense, right? We have to be able to fix that. And then we need to execute the plays that we need to execute, right? And protect the football. Those are the things I'm looking for in this game. Quick preview of some of the keys to victory, but those are the things we got to do. So, guys, that's all I have. This is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.